You know what I always want to call you is Emma Gravy.
Yeah, I get that a lot, actually.
Literally, I'm like, Emma Gravy.
And then, well, I get people that they're like, I'm so sorry. I thought your name was Gravy. And I'm like, it's okay. It's truly okay. It's what my Instagram handle is. So I'm like, it is okay.
For a really long time, I was like, Emma Gravy. And then Darius was like, I'm pretty sure her name is Graves. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like,
so
well,
you want to
whatever.
know? It actually started with my older brother, Logan. He went to high school and everyone just started calling him El Gravy. And I was like this little pipsqueak in middle school. And I was like, I want to have a cool nickname. Like no one's up. And I was also at this crisis in my life of like, there's so many Emmas. And then I got to middle school, first time like going to school. And there's another Emma in this very small class. So then people started calling me Emma 2. So then I was having this crisis of like,
Absolutely
I can't be Emma 2. No way. So then I like started writing my name as like Emma Kate. My middle name's Catherine on everything. And then, so then Logan was El Gravy. So I just latched on. I was like, I'm just going to do that too.
I'm going to
We'll
take
make
it
a family. We'll take it as a family thing. Yeah.
Well, Emma Graves, welcome to Girl Everything's Fine.
Yay. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy. For those of you who don't know, Emma is a full-time group fitness instructor. She's a national educator for Lifetime.
You all right?
She is, I can't speak. She is honestly, truly a badass. And I'm not even kidding when I say
Thank
that.
you.
Like every time I take your class, I'm just so floored by how professional, to the point, you know your shit. And it's like, it's so rare, I think, because a lot of people there's a lot of people who are group fitness instructors out there, but they don't care, they don't carry themselves, they just don't have that poise. They try to be too much, and you're just like, enough. Just as you are, I swear.
Wow, okay, I'm going to need to process that for a second. Thank you so much.
Really.
That's genuinely so kind.
You crush you need to take her class.
I
Come
know.
on.
We keep talking. There was a traffic incident. I'm coming. I will be there.
Chicago
Don't
traffic.
you worry about it.
It'll get ya.
There was a bridge, an incident. I don't know. Anyways, how the hell are you?
Oh my gosh. You know, I try really hard because my first instinct always when I get asked how I am, I'm like, I'm so busy, just so busy.
Same.
And I know. And I know that from listening to the podcast. It's like that is usually how it's going. There's and I am. The holidays are coming up, and I always feel like there's this moment for me where I'm like, I have to just be okay with the busy and the chaos a little bit. John Summit, Comfort and Chaos, shout out.
Yeah. We'll be tagged.
Right?
We'll
but
be
I'm
tagged.
always like, next week it'll be normal. Or like next month it'll be not this. It'll be like this. But there's this chapter of a book. It was You Are a Badass, Jen Sincero. I read it like 3 years ago in the sauna. And I will never forget, she was so clear in this one chapter of like, everyone's going to say they're busy. Like, busy is the new good when you get asked, how are you?
That's so true.
And she was like, be intentional about how you're responding to that, even in your head, where I really try, I still say it, of course, but I really try, at least in my head, to just be consciously like, my life is full of things that I'm so passionate about and people that I love and things I love doing. And I just try to be grateful for that versus like, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, it's a fun place to be drowning a little bit. Like,
You're
what
gonna
a
drown.
good perspective, because I always say to Taylor, I'm always like, oh, it's just a really big, busy season. And Taylor's like, it's always a busy
I'm like, you've
season.
said that for the last 52 weeks.
I know, because it is. But what a way to just like change the perspective. I'm like, I'm really grateful for everything that I fill my life with and the people that I fill my life with. Gosh, we need to take a page from that book.
I know. Look, we're
full
learning already.
of things that I love. Like, just, I mean, honestly, like, that's like an affirmation for me a little bit. But
yeah.
we can get more into
Stick that on the
affirmations
mirror.
later. Yeah, literally.
You gotta have something, especially when it's like filled with chaos. Like there has to be like a little grounding moment, and even so, I like that you being like, even if it's just in my head, even if out loud you're like busy, but like in your head you're like, okay.
I repeat it to myself. I also have to say I love the name of this podcast so much, and just the general vibe of it, because for many reasons, but my favorite meme of all time, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, it's the dog on the stool in the burning room, and he's like, this is fine.
I don't know. Emma would, when I trained with Emma trained me up until my wedding.
Yes.
And she'd be like, do you know this meme? do you know this meme? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you are, but no.
Wait, so you know that SpongeBob episode where they're she's like no.
And I just sit and I'm like, God damn, I'm old. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
What? You're so ingrained in like social media that I'm surprised, because I feel like I know more shit like that than you do, and I'm like, but how? Because you're so much more involved on social media than I am.
I see all the random shit that like no one. I don't know. It's like dog and cat videos, which you would think that I would see a dog. I don't fucking know.
She's like doing chest presses, and I'm like, look. It's from,
let me show you exactly.
The main one, and maybe I don't know if you know this either, but it's the scene from Holes, and they're digging a hole with Shia LaBeouf, and they're digging holes, and the one kid's like, I'm tired of this grandpa.
Yes.
And she had no idea, so she was like,
I'm just gonna leave the podcast.
She was doing a set.
We don't need you here.
And she said something that was along those lines, and then I said that, and she was like, she did clearly it wasn't clicking.
We missed it, yeah.
And I'm literally pulling up the clip to show her. I'm like, I'm getting you cultured here, like, as you do your chest presses.
It's not only about working out.
Maybe I'm gonna start sending you like a meme of the week.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Just to keep you up to
report back on the pod.
Kids are
It's a
doing.
great idea.
Okay, great. Like we'll start there then. How's your week been? We got to do that too. We got to check on.
Honestly, I just said before I got a facial, a blowout, and a massage, and it was honestly, besides the fact that she talked to me the whole time, it was an amazing massage. I also got cupping from Thomas on Saturday. My sister gave me acupuncture on Wednesday, and then I got this today.
You're getting taken care of, girl.
I know. My sister was like, are you like good? Like, am I good at this? Or is everybody else who's touching you good? I was like, no, like it's good. So I feel very like, whew, great.
Also, let's talk about that. I don't want someone to talk to me during a fucking massage.
Okay, I don't either. But
is that an
here's the
unpopular
thing.
opinion? I don't want you to speak to me.
She kept asking me about social media and like how to help her get more
you
people.
said, ma'am, this isn't an...
And I was
so you're like working.
But I was also like when I got my facial done, she didn't say one word to me. She just like let me do my facial, let the camera be on, like that's it. With the massage, I was like, and then she's like, come back for 80 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I would, because her pressure was so good. I was like, but you better not fucking talk to me if I'm paying for this.
I can't have you fucking talking to me.
Yeah. At one point, I thought she was going to like have me open my eyes and be like, this is what you should do. And I was like, okay. But honestly, her pressure was great.
Was it with the facial she wasn't talking to you because it was being filmed? So she didn't. So she didn't want you like talking during it or whatever.
I don't care. She didn't talk to me, and I was like, "This is great." My Aura Ring was like, "Did you just take a nap?" And I was like,
"I wish."
I kind of.
I see the massage therapist at Thomas at the chiropractor, and that woman beats my ass, and she'll talk to me, but it's not a relaxing experience.
No,
you know what I mean?
Like
I'm getting my ass whooped. She's like digging into my like Terry's minor. I'm like ready to cry. Like
no, Thomas told me I need to go see her.
That's how I like my massages.
You do need to see her.
Thomas was like, you have to go see her.
She's really, really good. I'm seeing her now like an hour every week. So I'll talk to her. But if I enter a Zen environment where there's music
and the lights are
dim
off,
lighting and there's essential oils, you better not even fucking think about asking me anything other than how's the pressure.
I know, and I'm too nice because she was like, I'm sorry, I'm talking to you, and I was like, that's okay.
I would have been like, yes, I'm really trying to enjoy this moment with myself.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm like that too with the massage.
Yeah,
like,
same guys. I really am, but I'm just like nice.
Yes. How was your week?
You know, it's going. It's like weird slow season in my day-to-day work life anyways, so I'm kind of just chilling, but that's all I got going on. I did some bopping around. I got my hair done.
We're all dark-haired girlies.
Look at that. Shout out Bianca at the Life Spa.
Good.
Which you can go to if you're not a member.
Yep.
I went to the gym with Marlon today, and then his car ran out of gas, and then I had to go back and get him. So that's like really what my day's looking like. Really? I was like, okay, yeah, on my way. So
I haven't heard about that happening to anyone in a minute. Like running out of gas. That's like a classic problem. Yes. I feel like you don't hear about that often, though.
He literally was like, called me. Or I said goodbye to him at the gym, and then he called me 3 minutes later, and he said, do you want to laugh? And I said, sure do. And he said, I ran out of gas, and my phone was dead, so I'm sitting here. I had to sit here and wait for it to charge so that I could call you to ask you if you would mind coming back to get me. I said, sure do. So then I literally drove him like to the gas station that's right here on this corner, and then drove him back to his car, and then he said, well, now I'm going to the Target across the street from your apartment. I said, so am I. So then we just came back.
Wait, but what did you have to do? Like fill up a gas tank to pour
She
it
has
in?
a tank. This shit happens to him all the time.
Okay,
that
maybe
is
he's
a
just a little bit
sign.
too comfortable, like going
Yeah, because
past
he's like,
the
you know, I
Let's
should
not live on the edge anymore.
No, there's no world in which I want to run out of gas.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, I can't. I don't want to be involved with AAA.
That's like symbolic a little bit, like actually physically running out of gas.
Yes.
It's
No.
so defeating. You're
It
like,
is. It
can't go anymore.
I mean, luckily he was just like around the corner and not like on the highway or something.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Well, Thomas ran out of gas on fucking Lakeshore Drive on the on ramp to get on it. Lakeshore Drive. I thought he was
Asshole.
gonna die. Literally. I thought he was gonna die.
I don't know if I could handle that.
No, I'd probably run out of the car and be like, I don't know, just
I'm
leave it
like
here.
the person you call. You know when you call triple and they're like, "Are you in a safe spot?" That was me. I was like, "Are you in a safe spot?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think you are." Here I come. Anyways,
All right, Emma.
let's get into Emma.
Hey.
Tell us about you. I know you're not technically from Chicago, but what brought you here?
Yeah.
And how'd you end up in this beautiful city where I met you?
Well, so I'm from Minnesota originally. I'm from the suburbs
Wow,
of Minneapolis.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, you
I
betcha.
know. I was just gonna say I'm not getting.
Yeah, you betcha.
Not getting the accent from you.
It comes out.
She's like, I hide
There's
it.
one word when I say open. Like I'm like, open up your hips. Like, I'm like open
sprinkles
up.
itself in there, yeah.
You know, it comes out a little bit there. But so I'm from Minneapolis suburbs, good old Chanhassen, Minnesota, and Chanhappenen as we call it.
Yes.
Is it really? I don't know. So basically, when I was in high school, I was
Cheerleader.
I was in cheerleading. You know this. You know where this whole story is going, probably. But I was into like sports and athletics, and a bunch of my friends at high school started going to take classes at Lifetime. And they were like, it's so fun and it's so cool and you should come. And I was like, okay, go walk over to my mom. I'm like, can you buy me a membership to Lifetime? She's like, no.
You're like, oh. You're like, and that's not how I saw this conversation going,
Hey,
Mom.
I love her for it because number one, like she has just helped me so much with work ethic and, you know, things aren't handed to you. But also that kickstarted literally the last 10 years of how I got where I am today.
Yeah.
I started working at Lifetime in the Kids Academy because I was like, yeah, babysit, like
Yeah,
perfect, let's
great.
run it. And then I started taking classes there, fell super in love. I went to get CPR certified because you got to do that every 2 years, you know. And the instructor never showed up, but the other woman that did show up for the CPR cert, her name is Charmel Houtzley. She is forever one of my biggest inspirations and mentors. And she was the studio lead at Lifetime Chanhassen. And so we just like get to chatting, you know, nonstop. And she's saying like, come take class. Long story short, we start to develop a relationship. I was religiously going to her classes. Specifically, there was a Tuesday 4 p.m. class that would have like 100 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was before spot reservations, so you're probably slipping and sliding
Yeah,
on
but you're
someone,
like, yes,
and you're
yeah.
like holding hands. She actually would have us hold hands sometimes. I'm not.
They're like,
Just
they're
to
like
make sure.
shaking and the sweat gets on you. You're totally
It
fine.
was
Yeah.
genuinely those classes, and they still are. I still go back and take with her. Just a spiritual experience
Yeah.
of human connection and happiness and having fun. And it was like nothing I had ever experienced before, except for the camaraderie of competitive cheerleading. So I did competitive cheer, which is, you know, we travel around and throw each other in the air,
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
catch each other sometimes, you know, flip around. And I think the key part of it is the woo.
Yeah.
The woo.
The woo.
We can get more into that, but cheerleading is all woos.
Yeah.
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 You know,
Emma
you're
does a good woo. Wait, what do you do? You'll be like, woo. I can't even do it. No, but then you'll do something where you're like, hoo hoo. I can't like describe. Yes, that in class. Like, and I'll be like, okay,
Oh boy.
okay.
I go through a lot of different vocal like things that I go back
experiences,
to. There was like a Lil Jon era that I needed to get out of. Like I just really caught myself being like, yeah. Like all right, we're gonna dial that back. I just
We'll
get
retire
really-
that one. Move on.
I literally like throw them out and I find a new one.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I took this class and I'm like upside down. I like blacked out basically the whole class. I got sweat in my eyeballs. Like everyone's hooting and hollering though, and I'm just like, that was great. So we start going. We had a squad of like 15 of my friends from high school that we were so annoying. We like set out all of our mats because again there were no reservations. We'd go and we'd get there right after school, like after high school, and set out all of our mats. And it was a really special time in my life. And I always credit that with so much of who I am today and how I approach fitness because it was fun and it was something that I looked forward to, and it was a way to connect with people that I loved, and the musical piece of it, which I know we'll get more into. Anyways, so I went out on a whim and I was like, hey, Charmel, I'm 16, but can I teach class here? And she was like, I mean, whatever. And so not actually, but she basically agreed to meet with me every week in a cycle studio where no one was. She's putting me on mic and basically just teaching me the basics of cueing and like how, to 4, 3, 2, do this. That kind of basic concept, which was so much harder than I thought it would be. I'm sure maybe did you guys have that experience of like, you're like cueing to the beat for the first time is like, you're like, oh, perfect, it'll be easy. And then you do it and you're like, wait.
Because it's not only that you're cueing, you're also cueing what's coming next.
Yes.
So you have to think about like what you just did, where you're going, when it counts down, and not only like, I mean, there's so much too, and I'm sure she didn't just like throw it into you, but you're like 4, 3, 2, and then you could be like, then blah, blah, blah. But then the people are like, wait, how am I supposed to start on 1 if you haven't already told me? Like, you know, like, I don't know.
It's a science.
It's not intuitive as like a human being to do that. You have to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I have videos of this time that will like probably go with me to the grave, because they're hilarious. Like I'm like,
well, that's what you have to do. I mean, that's what I was taught when I first started. They were like, record yourself and play it back, and then it's like the most painful thing ever.
It is
to play it back. Mm-hmm. You're just like, okay, all right, yep, I got it. Yeah. Okay, yep. Like but it's the only way you learn. Yes, it's like you got to be able to hear yourself to be like, that was good, or no, don't do that again.
Right.
You know?
And everyone says like you hate listening to yourself on recording. When you watch a video of yourself teaching, I literally just had to do this last night because I watched back my on-demand videos basically to give myself feedback, and oh my gosh, I have to like pause sometimes. But because it's not only hearing your voice, but it's hearing like what you're saying in your cueing, how you cued it.
The motivational things that you're saying during it, and you're like, did I just
you're
say
watching
that?
yourself too. Like this was kind of a tough thing for me for a while. Is like so many like watching videos of myself exercising. I'm like, that is doing things to my brain that I don't know if I wanted to be doing. Anyways, so we went through a long while of that, and eventually I was able to take the certification I did like NIDA, and I somehow got hired there. I was 17. And I started teaching Warrior Sculpt. That was my first class there, our Lifetime's yoga sculpt format. And it's so funny thinking back because I'm like, anyone that took those classes, I'm so sorry. I really was trying my best, but the growth over the decade now is it's there. So anyways, I stayed employed until then. I went to UW-Madison, go Batch, and I studied journalism and Spanish, and I minored in digital studies, so nothing fitness related. I really strangely had this idea in my head, and I think a lot of people have this idea, is like, I must go and get this specific type of job, and to be successful I must sit at a desk and do a 9 to 5 and whatever. And so I was like, I'm really good at writing and expressing myself through written word and media and whatever, so that's it, I'm gonna do that. And I had so much fun doing that, and I love, like, Spanish is like a whole other side quest for me, but and it plays into what I do now today, but essentially I was still working at Lifetime teaching when I came back for holidays and weekends and summers and whatever. But then I graduated and I got a job at a PR agency. Oh, also sidetrack, I met Will at Wisconsin. He's my partner of 5 years. And he moved to Chicago, and I was already thinking about moving to Chicago. Right? But no.
You're like totally where I saw myself. What a coincidence.
And so once he moved here 6 months before me, and so then it was basically like done deal. Like, I'm going to go to Chicago. So started applying to places. I got a job at this public relations agency. It was a global agency. It was great in ways, but it really did not fit who I am as a human being in a lot of ways, where maybe it could have, like, in another world, but for reference, it was in 2021, so everything was still remote.
Yeah.
And they had me doing so much. I'm like sighing just thinking about it because for context, also my first Chicago apartment did not have windows. Like my room had 0 windows.
Yikes.
It was legal because it had a door to like the outside, but that had no windows. And then we had these street level windows because it was like a garden unit that were frosted. So no sunlight. So I'm sitting in there alone, and what they have me doing is like media data entry, which is like I go in this Excel sheet, 1 tab 0 tab 1 tab 1 tab.
And you're like, I'm dying slowly as I sit here.
Literally. And so it was very much right thing, right time, I guess, because right at the point where I was like,
no thanks.
I've kind of gotten myself into this hole and like, I don't really know if this is what I want to be doing. And I had stopped teaching momentarily. Someone reached out to me from Lifetime who I had worked at in the past. They're like, hey, did you know there's a Lifetime opening in River North? And I was like,
sure did.
I'm glad I did.
Thanks for letting me know.
So yeah, I started full time there in January of 22, and I started at like 20 classes a week of
that's
strength and cycle and sculpt and all the things. And basically I slowly, and then I added personal training, but then I've slowly added on more work in the internal education for instructors kind of realm, and moved some classes off of my schedule. So I've kind of, now I'm at a balance of I teach like 13 classes a week and I do about 25-ish hours of the corporate role. So yeah, that's the long story long, I guess. I probably said long story short in there like a couple times, but it wasn't really that short.
My MO is to be like, long story short, and then go off on a 45-minute tangent. So I'm with you. There's just, we're just those girls.
Yeah,
we have to get it all out. Like,
we're here
we
to
can't.
yap, right?
Yeah, we're not
guess,
here to just give the brief synopsis of shit.
So yeah, obviously there's a lot more to it, but I'm just really happy to be where I am now. And there were so many points also that I was like, is this the right thing? And the constant, in my fitness roles, the constant imposter syndrome. Yeah. I was talking to Bianca about this today, actually. I'm like, every single role that I have stepped into, I've been like, is this the right thing? Oh my God.
Am I supposed to be here?
Why are people listening to me? Like, do I know what I'm doing at all? Have I ever learned anything that pertains to this?
Yes.
And just that, right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But the self-doubt always seems to creep in those moments. And, one thing that I've learned from that, just repeating over, because it was when I came into the group fitness role, when I came into the personal training role, when I started my corporate role part-time, when I started it full-time, understanding that the only way to overcome that is to just do it.
To just jump.
It's accepting it as part of the process, at least for me, is that like, I'm gonna feel that, but it's going to be temporary and it's going to go away, and I'm eventually going to feel a lot more confident in what I'm doing, and it's okay that I don't right now. So just, that's one thing that kind of stands out to me as part of that whole, like the past 10 years is like understanding that doubt is part of the process and it's inevitable, and you don't always feel that unsure of yourself.
And I think especially when you're transitioning to decide to do fitness full time, like that's like
it's a big jump.
It's a big jump. It's a big thing to commit to. I think that, there's, especially when it's like, holy shit, like I'm having a bad week and I can't even like fathom having to coach all of these people, and now I have to do it full time, like all the time. So I get that there's probably like a huge pressure to actually like make that jump than it would be to just switch careers and go to like a different 9 to 5 or whatever it is.
And to your point, that was where I had one of my biggest, like, I was like, oh my God, like, am I about to do this? Like, is this the right choice? Am I being dumb? Am I, like, I had this question. Of course I'm not, but I'm like, am I throwing away my education because I'm not really using, like,
I mean, we all did.
Please, I'm telling you, I studied marketing, and yes, I'm doing marketing, but half the shit I learned in school,
it's like,
I'm not doing. They didn't teach me like how to stand in front of a room and command a fitness studio.
No, I went to fucking nursing school and I didn't learn a thing about nursing until I started working as a nurse. Let me tell you,
classic.
Like, so it is. We all slid into things that were like, and like, what are you supposed to do when you're fucking 18? Decide what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Right. Like, this sounds like a great age to be like, this is what I want to be.
No guidance from anyone. They're just like, get alone. Well, and you're like, okay. Like.
Well, so then at that moment, I called Charmel, and I just explained the situation. I was like, here's what I'm doing. I think I want to go back to Lifetime. I want to do this. Like, am I being dumb? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll never forget, she said this to me. She goes, Emma, you literally don't even have to be the same person when you go to bed tonight as when you woke up this morning. Like, life is fluid. It is ever changing. You can change it. She's like, I've been a barber. I've been a bartender. I've been a businesswoman, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like you can change your mind and do different things. And I think I was really stuck in this mindset of like, I gotta decide right now, like you're saying, what the next 50 years of my life are gonna be, and if I choose wrong, well, I'm screwed forever.
Forever.
Yeah, I think too, a lot of like the reasons we stay stuck is because we're so scared of like failing or it not working out or whatever. So instead, we just like sit where we're at and we're like, I'd rather just be complacent, sitting here and being okay with it. So you're very fortunate too that you were able to like go and take that jump and be able to just be like, all right, here we go. I'm jumping 2 feet in.
Yeah.
Was your family ever like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's a good question.
Because you've got a big family.
Yeah. So I have 5 brothers, and then my mom and my dad.
You're the only
And
girl.
I'm the only girl. And usually people find out that fact about me like later, and they're all like, checks out, got it, makes sense. Really quick sidetrack. I was piecing together with Will a couple weeks ago. He was like, I think that like a kind of a piece of your nature is like when you were growing up, you kind of had to be like, I'm here. I'm here. Don't forget about me.
Like, hello.
And I have rights of like being a little girl too.
Yeah.
Like a joke we always make is like my mom would come home from Costco and there would be like a goldfish carton, and like if you didn't get to that goldfish carton
In
first,
time,
like it was gone.
over.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Yeah.
You know, so you had to take
Survival
action.
skills
had
you
to
were
take
learning.
action. Right.
That
So
is
anyways, I
survival
think that is
skills.
like a big part of who I am. But another just little piece of like my parents, and one thing that I love and respect about them so much is throughout my entire life, a big part of their parenting philosophy, whether conscious or maybe somewhat subconscious, is they've just let us find our way. So I was homeschooled, and
Oh wow,
explains
like
why I'm
all
so
of-
weird.
She's like, in case you're
Taylor and I
wondering.
were just sitting there like, oh.
But what I always say is like there's a very clear stereotype of homeschool kids, and I think that my family doesn't really fit into a lot of those things, because one of the main reasons why my parents chose to homeschool us was they were like, we want our kids to like grow up together, to be able to explore and learn in a kind of like comfortable environment, but find their passion and like pursue that.
Yeah.
So that's like where their heads are at, is like they wanted us to be free to like be who we are and find our skills and what matches us. And so they never really pressured me one way or another. Do you know what I mean? Like they would guide me when, especially like when I was asking and I'm like trying to figure it out and I need guidance, like they're there to give me their thoughts and ask me the right questions. And my mom definitely like was so helpful in helping me kind of piece together like the details, because that jump financially can be scary.
Yeah,
Totally.
Like you're like, am I gonna survive? I think the nature of just like going from here's your set paycheck that you have every week to when you're doing fitness instruction, it's like you get paid by the unit, like by the class, by the session. And so it feels a little bit less stable.
Stable, for sure.
And I'm already unstable enough as a human being.
Yeah,
so
you're
I'm
like, any more instability
solid
for
ground.
me.
Yeah. Totally. So I would just say like they were all, and they knew that I had such a passion for working out and teaching and fitness and the love of it all. And so it wasn't like a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Because I'd been doing it already for 6 years, I think, 5 years at that point. So.
Was there a point that you were like, okay, wait, I'm actually like good at this? Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are like, I love my fitness classes, but they're not meant to be instructors.
But yeah.
I think, so I had been doing like yoga sculpt classes, and then I started to teach cycle. And I got really into cycle, and I just like really fell into the beat-based, rhythm-based cycling. It's the best, right? And at that point, I started to kind of like build a community of people that would come to my class every week, and it started a wait list. And I think that was maybe my first point of real like confidence, like, oh my gosh, people want to come to this. Like this means something to someone, and hearing from people like what it meant to them as well. But then I kind of got a reality check or like an ego check that I truly needed. Because so I went to school at UW, and there was this boutique studio there called Psych Fitness, CYC. And I had heard things about them. I had known people that had gone to Madison and said great things, and it was kind of the place to teach, whatever. So I'm like, my arrogant ass is going into campus being like, perfect, I'm just gonna audition there, and then I'm just gonna teach there. And I go to the audition, and it's just such a talented group of people. There's maybe like 20 of us that are auditioning for not that many spots. I don't remember, like 5 or something, 5, 6. And I just watched everyone else kill it, and then I did not feel great about what I did. I felt awkward, and I felt also that all of these people had been so involved in the community of like what their method was and how they taught. So it felt very similar, and then there was me. So it was like kind of sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, like your style wasn't exactly in tune of what they were. Yeah,
absolutely. And I feel so grateful that after that, like, so I didn't get it, and it was, first of all, it was crushing. Like that's a crushing experience, especially because I'm like, I feel confident in myself, great, and then it's like, actually not yet. But I feel grateful that it was a not yet, and I do feel I'm genuinely glad that I had that moment, because it made me work harder, and it made me look at like, okay, how can I grow and improve? How can I learn something? How can I maybe immerse myself more in this community? And so I did. So I worked front desk there. I took everyone's classes as much as I could. And then I finally got the chance to audition again. And so I did. And after that, like, I think the confidence felt more real after that, because I was like, I have worked for this. And I really have come humbly into this a little bit more than being like, I'm just gonna
rock at this.
Yeah, everyone wants to take my class, you know. So, but yeah, I think, and this is why I work in the field that I work in at corporate, is that I know that there's always growth opportunities, and there's always places to learn, and the fitness industry is always evolving and changing, and you got to keep up, kind of. So I feel that I'm always trying to just be a better version of myself as an instructor and find things that help me level up in a way. So I don't think I'll ever truly be satisfied. I want to like be, acknowledge, but I don't think I'll truly ever be like, we're good.
Yeah,
all right, I'm just gonna coast. Like, I'm always looking for ways to elevate.
So run me through what you're coaching right now. So you're you have clients, you personal train.
So not anymore. So
not anymore.
Were you the last round?
Basically, I left, and she was like, I can't do this anymore.
I'm not taking another client after this.
No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I just swapped personal training for a few more classes, honestly, because I just felt like it made me a little bit more aligned of like, everything that I'm doing is kind of in one bowl of things, versus feeling like I really like to give all of myself and 100%, and I like to feel like I'm succeeding, of course, as we all do. And I felt like I was sort of like one foot in this door and one foot in that door, and like I needed to condense it a little bit. So,
which is huge, because that speaks to you too as a person, and like your growth that you've had in your career, because a lot of times like we do that, we put our hands in 14 different bowls, and we're like, but you're like, I'm doing this, I'm handling this, and this is great. And then it's like you're giving 30% here, 20% over here, 15% over there, and you're really not. You think you're doing great because you're like, oh, look at the list of shit that I'm doing, like, good for me. But if you're not like,
and I think there's like a selfish, not like a selfish, but like there's a self-fulfilling thing where like you've got clients that are like, do you personal train? I want to personal train with you. Like, can you train me? And then you've also got the like a little bit of a bigger price tag on that client too. So there's many things that go into it to be able to be like, you know what? I think for the benefit of myself, for my energy, for the energy of my students, for the growth pattern and the trajectory I want to go on, it takes a lot to be like, I'm going to take a step back.
Totally. It was hard, and I was like, another thing. Is this the right thing? Like, I'm always, the doubt is a part of the process. Yeah. And just sitting, and I've gotten a lot better at like being patient with my emotions processing, because I'm really impatient. And I want to like just have things figured out and just like get it and understand it. And I've come to realize, like, if I treat bigger decisions like that, I'm probably going to make a decision I'm not super happy about or communicate in a way that I don't really authentically feel or mean. And so now it's like, I will like feel something, like, for example, being like, I think I need to do this, and I wait and I just sit with it, and I journal every day. I don't do journalism anymore, but I do journal.
She journals. She
it's my own form of journalism.
Yeah.
And just try to process all of those things. And yeah, it turned out to just like work out really well, and I'm really happy with my schedule right now. So I do 1 yoga sculpt a week, 2 cycle a week, 8 strength classes a week. Some of them are heavy lifting. Does that add up? That's 11. Yeah, I have something else in there. Oh, and then 2 boot camp classes a week.
Okay,
That's the 13. I'm like trying to do math in my head. So now that I have this kind of flow and rhythm, I feel really happy with where I'm at, and it is a bit more energy to push through. But with those strength training classes, I have some that are more like heavy lifting, lower reps, and then some that are more muscular endurance, high rep, beat to the music type vibe. So it's a nice mixture, honestly. And that's one of my favorite things about working there, is that I get the opportunity to like do all of those different things under one roof and be in one place, because there's so many different types of fitness that I love.
Yeah.
So getting to kind of combine them all in one job is really, really gratifying.
When you're coaching at a place like Lifetime, because it's like a massive gym with all sorts of clientele, how do you go about, I'm sure you see an array of everything. Like, I feel like when you're at boutique studios, it's different. There's like a specific clientele, there's a draw.
Yeah.
But when you're teaching classes in a gym for everybody involved, I'm sure you get like your teeny boppers in the same room as your you know, older women, as the same as the older gentleman that's like 77 that's just popping off. So like, how do you go about coaching all of these?
Yeah, how do
across the board?
Anyone know? No. To your point, like, I get people in my classes, number one, that come to me and they're like, hey, I've never lifted weights before, ever, and I want to learn how.
Well, I feel like
so
when you're at a gym too that has that option for class, more people are willing to try it, because they're like, well, I'm already here and it's offered, instead
versus
of like
buying.
them signing up to go somewhere. So I imagine you get a lot of like first time
and
people
I love that.
too.
They're my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I love,
Excuse me.
one of my favorite things is like when someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, I'm
Which is
really
hard
scared.
to do,
Like, they're like, I'm nervous. I'm like, you're talking to the right gal.
Yeah.
But that, or I get people that are like, hey, like, I had a guy the other day. He's like, yeah, I've done 46 triathlons, and I just want to get better muscular endurance. And I'm like, sweet, let's do it. Here we go. Yeah. So to your point, like, to validate, like, there's such a wide array of people that you'll see in class. And I think that's a really beautiful part of it to me, is that we have these class formats that can serve so many different people from different walks of life and different eras in their life and different fitness abilities. And I really feel like there is something for everyone. So like, not every class is going to be a great fit for everyone. Yeah. Like, we have like a sprinting and balancing class that
I hate that class. I don't go. I do not go.
It's for, like, I really love it, but it's for more advanced, like, athletic abilities.
Of course.
Darius and I don't go to those.
Whereas, for example, with our GTX format is like one of the most adjustable formats
I love
ever.
GTX.
It is amazing, because people are like, I can't get on the treadmill. I'm like, so I never tell you to go any specific speed. I say, work at this level out of 10, and you get to choose whether that means walking, maybe walking on incline, jogging, full sprinting, you know, whatever. Yeah. And you get a wide mix, but I love that feeling of looking around and being like, everyone is approaching this in their own way and the way that feels good in their bodies, but they're all achieving their relative own level of difficulty, which I think is beautiful. But to answer your question, Maria, just basically did everything but answer your question.
Nope. You're answering it. You're answering it.
So like, in a strength class, and I mean, Jordan, like, hopefully you felt this even like last night or in other strength classes you've taken of mine, like, I really try to welcome people.
Oh, yeah.
Here's like something that I say a lot is like, there are so many right ways to do this. Like, that's how I want you to think of it. It's not like, no, stop, don't do that. It's like, explore and see, like, does this feel better for me, or does that feel better for me?
Yeah.
Do I want to alternate my arms? Do I want to like take this on my toes or my knees for a push-up or whatever?
Do you want to take off the band? Do you want to keep the band on?
Exactly.
Do you want to use weights? Do you want to use the band?
I'm literally like, I'm not a person that's going to be like, you're disrespecting me because you're not doing the class exactly how. There is a boundary, and I know you guys have kind of talked about that on here before too.
Yeah.
There's a boundary where like, all right, if you're like coming into my class like
to do whatever you
halfway
want
through with AirPods in and you're just ignoring me the whole time, I'm like, all right, be a nice human being.
Yeah.
And, like,
Or
don't
they come
do that.
to like the beat-based rhythm cycle and they're like, I'm a street rider and
Right.
like I'm just here to, and I'm like, what, use the bike because you've done nothing that I've given you.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally. But for the most part, like I welcome people to just explore what feels best, and I always want people to feel supported in finding what that is. I always say, like, I'm like the backseat driver too. Like, you're in the driver's seat, I'm the backseat driver. That's something I use, and then I usually say, like, I mean, the actual backseat driver I'm not great at because I'm like right back there.
Yeah.
3 turns ago, you were supposed to turn right. Hopefully in instructing I'm a little bit better than that. But yeah, I think it also helps to with Lifetime. It's so community based. I've noticed one thing that's different than my boutique experiences was like you have these 15 minutes before class, and you might have people that get there the full 15 before as you're kind of hanging out and welcoming people into the room and making sure everyone's good to go. And those tend to be my best opportunities to just connect with people. Jordan's like the absolute master of this. I don't know, like she probably doesn't toot her own horn in this way, but like people are literally like, oh, I just did bar with Jordan. I'm going to stay and do a second one. I'm not even joking. I took her class a couple weeks ago and people did that. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to stay and do it again. And I'm like, they're like, just because we love her. Like, she is the master. And then she's like, oh, you know, how's your dog doing? You know, and like, whatever. She's like, you told me about your dog a few weeks ago. Like, how are they doing? And like that to me is... So it goes back to like what the essence was to me is like this is
connection,
us
community
together. It is community. It is togetherness. It is fun. It is feeling supported by the people around you, and I love seeing you do that, Jordan. I think it's really awesome. I think you're fantastic at it.
I think that comes down to too that like people. Like especially at Lifetime and most boutique studios, there's a studio I have that has no format, but like we have a format that we teach to. Like this is they're not like do you lift your left leg. I mean GTX is a set workout that is at each day is different, but they're giving it to you, and then the reason someone's going to come to your class is yes, it might be that time that's convenient, but they're coming for you. They're coming for the way that you coach, that you teach, that the inspiration that you use, the things that you say. People are coming for you more so obviously a workout, but you posted something today that was like if you work out because you're like punishing yourself, you're gonna dread that workout, but if you work out because like you genuinely love it, and that does stem in group fitness a lot from like the person that you're going to see, that's that person that's like your big hug as you walk in. You know what I mean? Like that's really why people go to your class.
And that's
Darius like literally doesn't like anybody else but you. He's like, I'm gonna go to Emma's because Emma can teach. But like also like you I don't know, there's something about your class. Like we met Mike and Kelly who who went to your classes Monday 8 a.m. Like the 4 of us now are friends. So it's so like cool. You just like I don't know,
it's the
encourage
point, like people, you could go work out anywhere you fucking wanted to, but like there's something about going to the place where you just like, you don't feel like the number in the room, you feel like they remember me, or I met this person, or I feel comfortable because I don't know this girl, but I see her here often, and like we are on the same. So there's something to be said about creating a community environment for sure, versus just and get on the bike or whatever and get going.
Literally met some of the most important people in my entire life and like best friends in the world through classes. Which is so, and I know there's so many people that have a similar story.
I see it.
One of my very best friends, Reagan, she is chronically early is what I always call her. And so she would always be the one that was like, she's there right when I get there. And so I'd be like, hey, what's up? And that like went on for so long until I was like, all right, we got to take this out of the gym. And just like the connection that I have with my best friends through that, it bonds you so much. And another thing I bring people back to in class is like, we forget, like I think group, especially like instructors, and you're doing this all the time, we forget the power of just like the general nature of this. Is like, hey, you are literally inspiring someone else around you to keep going, whether or not that's like a conscious thing in your head. Yeah. Sometimes it's just like you are going because you see everyone else around you going, and you feel it's. I always say it's like the most positive form of peer pressure.
Yes,
all the cool
Darius
kids are doing
gets
it.
Peer pressured all the time when like someone will see him and be like not in class, but like out of class, or like one time we like went for a walk run before I taught, and he didn't want to come to bar, and then I think Kyla was outside and was like, "Are you coming to class?" And he was like, yeah, I guess I am. And he was like, I was planning to go home. But after, he was like, I'm so happy that I stayed.
Yeah.
I kind of want to pivot.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot about beat-based classes and about music being an inspiration.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was
like, where's she going with this? But now I'm with you.
No, I feel like I was maybe training with you, maybe before, but I know it was like your first big show that you had. When did and how did DJing become like a thing?
Yeah, we should
utilize
Jazz the DJ.
Well, you are a DJ too, and you have had shows, but that's like I feel like it's a passion project that's becoming a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is. Like passion project is 100% a way to describe it. So basically so like if you go back to starting to teach sculpt and starting to teach cycle, you guys know what do you have to do for every class? You gotta find some music to play.
Yeah.
So that's like I think really where it started because I was just constantly making playlists, as we all do as fitness instructors, and gathering, and then I started to come up with these like kind of just ways to organize my Spotify of like whether they were like some mood playlists, or then I started this like monthly playlist that I've been doing now since March of 2016. So oh my gosh, like almost 10 years. That's crazy.
That's crazy. You should have a big party for it.
Yeah, totally. And so it started so randomly. And you know, the March 2016 had like G-Eazy and like whatever. Whatever. There's like Kevin Gates in there.
Kevin Gates! No, I'm screaming. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know the vibe. I'll have to pull up that playlist to send it to you guys.
No, I'm going to follow you on Spotify the second this is over.
So I started doing that, and then it started to become like a little bit more sophisticated or like organized, I guess. Maybe not sophisticated because it's all like party music, basically. but
It's it's very sophisticated these days.
No, it's not sophisticated, but it is more organized. And the way that I started doing it was like, all right, I'm gonna keep the same list and then basically just swap out the tracks every month. And once I started to do that, I started to like get people that are like, just so you know, like I listen to this every month and like I take so many tracks from it. Like it's so useful to me, and especially like fitness instructors. They're like,
agreed.
They're like, oh, like I go on here when I just need something new, and
because
I
you
look
get
at it.
in like we don't talk about that. You get in like a music rut. Like I play and I'm very particular about my playlist. Like I don't like love to repeat a playlist. Like I'm the person every week I'm like queuing up a new thing. But sometimes I get in a like where I'm like
this song
don't
again or that song?
Or like your Discover Weekly is like I've heard this song. Like it's now just like done by a different DJ or something like that. Where you're like, this is not it. Like I was just in Laura's GTX class, and I was like, oh, I love this song. And I was like, should I Shazam it?
I do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
I'm like, hang on a second, I gotta get out the Shazam. But it's like, especially there's some stuff, you know, like especially when you tread in like 90s, 100 like BPM territory, there's only so much good shit in there.
I have like a playlist of that because that's always my track and cycle where I'm like, I'm stuck here again.
Yes, me too, dude. I'm like, fuck, I need another thing.
I listen to like so much house and so much techno, which generally falls between like 140 to like techno up to like 150 or whatever. Even like bass music up in like 140, 150. But like then you need to drop down to like 100, and I'm like, I don't casually listen to that a lot, and so I have to go searching for it. Anyways, so then as I started to build these playlists and just become more familiar with the artists that were on my playlist, I started to like go to their shows because I'm like, you know, getting into college, and I'm like, oh, like this person's coming here, let's go check them out live. And specifically, like I credit so much of like falling in love with like live music to Odessa. They're like my absolute number one favorite
spiritual experience.
That's
not just a show.
Cinematic, right? Like insane. And that like changed so much for me. And I was like, wow, this like the experience of being at a live show is so amazing. And then I basically became like super addicted to that, and just like going, it was always like just such a fun thing to go to with all my friends and get everyone together, and we would like travel and go to a festival or whatever. And the whole time I'm just like saving so much music and whatever. Okay, so all of this progresses until I think it was, so obviously then I moved to Chicago. And Chicago, if you don't know, is the birthplace of house music. It's where it all started. Sorry. And all
Shout
credit
out.
to like the BIPOC community and LGBTQIA plus community who are at the roots of it all. Love you guys. Thanks for that.
Thank you for that.
And now having like too many opportunities to go to just shows because like DJs are everywhere. And then I started to like become friends with some people that just casually DJ'd. And like they just were like DJing, like we go to a show and then we go back to someone's apartment and we're hanging out on the couch and someone's DJing and it feels like it's still a really fun vibe and whatever. And you know, we would go to like a music festival that's like 4 days straight and I'm like, why can I dance for 4 days straight and like not think of it like exercise or think of like, oh, it's this grueling workout. Like there was a day of Lollapalooza in 2023, I think. I literally traveled, according to my watch, 25 miles in one day.
Yeah.
I basically danced a marathon. And it was so funny. And I give so much credit to my friend Jason, who has like helped me with just learning so much. Because it's kind of like, where do I start?
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So like where I started was I basically was just like, I have this now ginormous library of like thousands and thousands of tracks that specifically I think people like makes people want to move. It makes people want to like dance and have fun and like connect or familiar remixes or whatever. And I was like, so basically that's a really hard piece of DJing is like the library of it all. So I'm like, basically I just have to figure out how to like piece it all together. So I started with just like, I just bought a board and I was like, I'm just going to make this investment. I like looked into it, asked a few people. But I just bought a board and I, okay, so poor William Alts, that is my partner. He is the most patient man in the entire world, the most loving, like understanding human being. I didn't realize, so there's a way that you can DJ where you literally just plug in your headphones and you DJ in your headphones. I didn't know that that was possible because
she was given a live show.
I was like on my speakers and I'm like pulling up YouTube videos. I'm just straight up learning off YouTube, university, whatever. And I'm watching all these videos and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. And it's like the most horrible, like ear scratching, like, oh, and so loud. And I'm playing it so loud too. And he's just, and then I decided I was going to try
great job, babe.
Yeah. Literally that. And I decided I was going to try and make a mix because I was like, I need a project or like a goal to accomplish. So I'm just going to like
just sit here
make
and like dick
do it.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he heard the beginning of that probably like 100 times because I redo it. Like go
He's
back
like
to it.
triggered by the apartment now.
The first song's like, no,
dog or whatever. Literally.
Yeah. And anyway, so I put up that like first mix. It's called like Head in the Clouds Mix 1, which it was just meant to be like very like upbeat, fun, like some remixes, but like a house music vibe.
Yeah.
And it kind of spiraled ever since then. But my main goal and what I eventually ended up doing was I was like, I want to tie. So like this is why I started DJing is I want to tie the fitness and the DJing. And I know there are instances where like obviously this is already being done, but in my world I want to bring them together. So my next project was I was like, I want to make a mix for a cycle class that is I do it in one take and I record it. And make that happen on my board and I record it in one take and then play it in class. And then it ended up like the first one we did ended up being so freaking electric that I was like, I have to keep doing this. It was like John Summit and Skrillex or something themed. And it's really tricky. It's like, I'm sure you know with the BPMs of cycle, I'm like, I got to get down to 100 at some point.
Yeah, like I can't keep
you have to be strategic with like, okay, I'm going to do like, you know, I'll start at like 110, go to 128, go up to 140, come back down, and then I'll play with like the double timing, which helps as well for changing the tempo. But anyways, that was a very, very hard thing to learn. Still not obviously perfect at it, but really good for learning how to DJ and play with a lot of different skills. Like that was more how I learned. It's more like, I want to do this. Like I want this outcome out of DJing. So then I have to look at like, okay, what are the steps to get there?
What are the possibilities?
Yeah.
How do I get there? And I look up specific like YouTube videos like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And so then my friend Jason also was the one that basically hooked me up with my first like gig opportunity.
Show?
I did do my birthday last year, not this year, but last year. I did like show on a rooftop. That was my first time like playing in front of people and like doing an actual live set. But it was like just all like my best friends and
Yeah.
you know,
You're like,
whatever.
so if I
And,
put
like,
this up, it's totally
no,
like.
it was so fun though. But then we had like a couple other friends DJ that night. It was awesome. And then Jason basically was gonna have this opportunity to DJ really cool venue. It's called Epiphany Center of the Arts. Do you guys know where that is?
I only know of it from you.
Yeah, it's by the United Center kind of, but it used to be a church, so it's like this huge like cathedral looking building.
Oh, dope.
But it's not a church anymore. Now it's a performing arts venue. So they have like 3 different venues within there.
Cool.
One of them is called the Catacombs, and it's like this underground,
dope.
like stony, dark lit like venue. And so that was where the first show was, and Jason was gonna do it, but he was like, I can't make it that night. So do you want to do this
you
gig?
were
And I
like,
was like,
yes.
You're like,
oh my God,
yes,
I was
I do.
literally the
Epiphany
most
Center for the
nervous
Arts.
that I've been for anything.
I'm
in
sure,
like,
dude.
literally since I would like take the stage
Yeah.
for cheerleading, like whatever. Like that was the same feeling. I was so nervous, and I had to work just so hard on it. Especially because the equipment that I was playing on.
I remember you were
Do you
like,
remember this?
I didn't, you're like, I've never played on this equipment before and I haven't played on it and I was supposed to play on it, but I didn't.
Yeah, so like the board that I had to begin is like this little
Teeny tiny,
bopper, you
yeah.
know, that's like you plug into your computer. It doesn't have a screen of its own or anything. And it did most of what I needed to do. Most of the boards really like do everything you needed to do.
Yeah.
Like the bigger ones are really like more for show.
Show.
Yeah.
But you do have to learn them in the sense of like the buttons are different places
Yeah.
and whatever. So I spent a lot of time kind of learning on like an in-between one that had its own screen. But I was like, literally, the reason I was so freaked out for this first gig was because I was going to show up there and it was going to be the first time that I had ever like
I
played
remember
on
that,
it
yeah.
or
Yeah.
touched it with my hands.
Yeah.
So thankfully the guy running the event, he was super kind. He let me like come over really quick the night before and just be like, this is where
This
that
is.
is.
This
where-
is a dope. I'm
he's
looking at this
like-
venue right now
It's
too.
cool,
This is like a
right?
dope
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah, so it was
Darius
in the
and I
catacombs
bought
downstairs,
tickets,
but then
it started at like 9 or 10, and we were like,
you were
dude,
like,
this is so late. I was
I
like,
gotta get
Emma, I love you,
I
but
was
it's
like, you
so
guys are welcome.
late.
It's so early because like it could be fucking 2 a.m. in this industry. So I did that, and then I've done a couple more since then, and it's just so much fun. It's like you
Yeah.
said, it's a passion project. It's a way for me to connect with my friends further over music, and it's like DJing is. You're not creating your own music, of course, and I have so much gratitude for all of the amazing artists that create the tracks that I get to
Yeah.
play around with.
Yeah.
But the end goal being like, here's this cohesive collection of music mixed together in a creative way, like that is what I find really fun, and sort of like, it's like the art piece of it, and why I've never been like artistic, but I think that is maybe where I found the most like expression of like quote unquote art.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm like, I have no creative in me, but music is like one thing
But
that
it
I
is
can
such
like
an
whip
expression
together.
too, and that speaks to fitness and as well of why people come to your classes. Like we've talked about this, like really explicit content or really explicit language in certain classes. Just like the music can make or break how you feel in a class.
yeah.
And so like the music that you
It's
mix,
so much of what you feel in a class. Yeah.
really is like the emotions that you want to get out of your students, or like besides your words and whatever.
Yeah.
But music is such a big,
Yep.
such a big piece.
Absolutely.
What's your dream class DJ collab?
Probably Fred again, because
Yeah, girl.
like he has.
We'll be there.
He has.
Are you going? Did you get
Are you going
tickets?
tomorrow?
No, I meant like we'll be there at your class.
Did you hear me? I was
Are
like,
you
"Did get
actually?
tickets?"
Are you
No, I
going?
couldn't
No,
get
there were
Okay.
no tickets.
No, it was crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't
So like,
get.
I somehow miraculously got one. Will literally tried to get one. It was 161,000 people in front of him for like a 12,000 person venue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
for
insane.
context, also,
No,
like,
I'm not going, I
He
wish.
announced this on Sunday. Like, for
Yeah,
anyone that
like,
doesn't know, he announced the show
literally.
on Sunday, and then like the tickets went on sale on Tuesday morning for Friday. So it was like a crazy freaking
Crazy.
mad
I
dash.
saw him last year. Yeah, in Milwaukee. I mean, that performance
Yeah.
is like
Oh my god!
unlike no
Wait,
other.
so did you see? Was it a DJ set or a live set?
It was a live set.
Okay, because so like this is the reason why I would say like he's my dream club is because he has both. Where the live set, when I saw his live set, I actually had to turn myself away for a little bit because I couldn't stop crying. Like, there was
like a whole
there was like 3 of my very favorite songs. I think it was like Julia into Blue into Danielle, and like I was like, oh my god, literally not. And I had to like turn around. Will's like, you can cry. I'm like, no, but I actually want to like stop crying for a second. Like my eyes are swelling up.
It's funny. I went with Thomas, and he was like, I don't think I've ever seen you be this happy in your lifetime.
Yes, we just experienced it.
Literally, I'm like, you don't understand what's going on here. That's why.
But that, and then I've also seen him at after shows where he's just going in, and he just when he gets on his like board and he's like actually tapping the sound bites and everything.
Incredible.
It's one of the coolest things ever. And so I like, that's why, because I feel like my classes, at least like cycle, I feel like are kind of this mix of like, there is this emotion and this sentimental piece, but also like we're gonna go in. And I mean, like Odessa's like my favorite artist of all time, but they're a little bit more leaning towards the like sentimental, euphoric vibe.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
You DJ, you fitness, you corporate, you do a lot. How do you balance being, I guess when Carly came on, she said multi-passionate was like a good word because you have a lot of multi-passionate without getting to a point of burnout.
Yeah. What are your like? Because we get this question a lot too, just from people like.
You guys are both also in the same boat of like you're doing so much.
Whenever we put out like questions on Instagram or whatever that we're like, what do you want us to talk about? A lot of times we get like, burnout questions, and then like on top of that, how do you like take care of like what's the self-care element for that too?
Yeah. Oh, I think it looks different for everyone.
For
obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
Therapy, number 1. I just literally like
therapy girls.
Amen.
Yeah, that has been genuinely life-changing for me, and just learning it's an hour a week to like focus on these things and to realize these things, because I didn't realize how much of my life that I was going through without even ever consciously being like, am I okay? Am I good? And so like it helps me just pause and assess and like make a plan if I'm not feeling great. So like, for example, when I made that change of feeling like, all right, I think I need to kind of readjust my weekly work tasks, like the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that up in therapy and just be like, I get someone to bounce that off, probably bring it up to Will, and then my mom, and then therapy. Like, but,
I need 2 opinions first, and then my therapist.
Yes, and so that, and then like I said, like I've learned about myself. I think this is the key. Is like you have to learn like how do you process best. Like some people might process best just with like silence and like time to themselves to think. I'm not really like that, but I do like one of my main processing things is just talking about it. That's why I think therapy works so well. Like I'm a very, what do you call it, like auditory processor maybe, like and then journaling as well, just putting my thoughts on paper. I used to have like such bad anxiety at night and like couldn't fall asleep and like have anxiety attacks at night, but now one thing that has helped so much with that is like just being like, whatever's in my head, I'm just gonna put it on paper, dump it out, and it just helps me feel a little bit more clear-headed. So that's one thing. I really prioritize like hot and cold therapy a lot. That is one thing that helps me feel really grounded and like okay physically and mentally. Time to just like be off my phone. So I cold plunge. That has been huge as well for just like helping my anxiety and like mental state. Because there's research, and basically it shocks your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, and it trains then your body to like calm the physical response and breathe through that. So that's like one thing that has been immensely helpful for me. I do the sauna and whatever too. But that, and I think just a practice of being honest with myself where I need to step back. It's a really hard thing, and it's always easier said than done. But like understanding that I have to be my own advocate, and like no one understands everything that you're going through, that I'm going through as much as we do about our own lives.
For sure.
And so if there's like an action that I feel like I need to take to give myself a little bit more breathing room, like I'm the one responsible for doing that. And I think that's kind of been a learning point for me as well. And yoga. That's nice. Specifically,
I gotta start.
Surrender, yin yoga.
I gotta start doing some yoga.
I cry a lot in yoga.
We
like in the Shavasana.
forget. I'm telling you, we forget to slow down. I had this conversation with my sister, and I was like, "Do you meditate?" And she was like, I didn't. And she's in a class currently. And the teacher was like, your homework is 30 minutes of meditation a day. And I was like, 30 minutes? That's so much.
30 minutes is a long.
But I was like, you know what? It's whether you know it or not, this homework becomes part of your habits, which actually help you so much.
I wish someone gave me homework like that.
Same. Do you have like a strict morning routine, evening routine that you stick to?
So I used to meditate like you're inspiring me to get back into it.
I know.
I used to, okay, so I used to get out of bed, change my clothes right away, and then I would go sit on my couch and I would set a timer for 5 minutes and I would meditate. That would be like the first thing that I would do in the morning. The problem was I wasn't sleeping enough, so I was just going out to the couch and then falling asleep for 5 minutes and then going. And I'm like, meditation. Yeah, right? So now I've been a little bit more focused on building a good nighttime routine.
Yeah.
I started drinking this is like one of my favorite new like nighttime additions. Started drinking like a multi-mag supplement. It's from Nighttime. It's called Dream.
I love a nighttime bevy.
Yes.
I really do.
I didn't realize how much a difference it makes if you get a little like coffee, milk frother, and you get that to mix it because it was so clumpy before. I was like, how do people do this? So then I started drinking that, and that has helped to be kind of a first thing of like I'm starting my nighttime routine because you're supposed to drink it like 30 to 60 minutes before or whatever. So then I do that. So I start to drink that. I like to generally make sure the apartment is somewhat like clean,
tidy,
of like
organized.
Put the dishes away if I can, like turn off the lights, make sure everything's good, put away. I brush my teeth, floss, wash my face, skincare, whatever. And then I like set my alarm and then I journal. And I do both. I do both gratitude journal every day. It's like the 5-minute journal. That's like 3 things you're grateful for in the morning, 3 ways to make the day great, a daily affirmation, and then at night you're just like 3 highlights of the day and something I learned, and then I like brain dump a little bit. It usually all takes me together like 5 minutes, probably. Sometimes more if it's been a day.
Yeah,
I'm like, Will's like, you take a second. I'm like, I got some things to say today.
You're like 7 pages later.
Literally, I'm like, that's happened. And that's
well, it's good to hear you say that too, because I think sometimes people think journaling has to be this like this entry of like
everything.
Yes, and it can just be like a quick 5-minute like.
It also can be like you literally don't have to make sense.
Yep,
like on the paper.
You can scribble. I made a rule for I started to fall off for a little bit. This was like maybe in the spring of this year, and I said to my therapist, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make it so like my rule is I just have to journal 1 word every night.
Love it.
I just have to journal 1 word. And there were generally nights where I was like so tired I was getting in bed, and I'm like,
I gotta write this fucking word
I write
down.
the date, I write the time, whatever, and then I just write tired.
Yeah,
great.
Close book.
I did it.
And actually, and that's kind of a key to fitness. I've heard people talk about it in this way of like saying like, I'm just going to go to the gym, and I might literally get there and do 5 minutes and say, nah, not my day.
I'm done. Yeah.
But just the commitment to the consistency of like, I'm just going to show up.
Yep.
And then, but also then actually allowing yourself to call it after 5 minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
Like is part of that process too. So yeah, it's been a fun habit to build, and I think it's helped my mental clarity so much.
100. I can totally see that.
Yeah. I also like in my gratitude journal, because that's part of my morning routine too, but like in my gratitude journal every morning, like when I write that affirmation, I think for the past like year and a half maybe, it's been my affirmation is just I trust in my ability to overcome anything. And like I think it's rewiring my brain on a deep level.
100% it is.
Like,
no, I love that.
Because I think my anxiety generally is like circulates around like, is it all gonna be okay? Like I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. I'm gonna fail this. Like I'm gonna whatever kind of spiral thoughts. And now I feel whether it's the data points of like I actually am overcoming challenges more and more, and that's helping me gain confidence, but also just that simple act of writing that down pen to paper every morning makes me like go into my day and be like, I might get thrown some bullshit today and like things I can't control, but like I'm gonna be okay no matter what.
There is something I feel like there's definitely science behind the like affirmations that you write down that definitely you start to believe that same thing over and over again. It's like reading a book, you know, and you remember that, and then it's like wired in your brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, love it.
And then it also becomes habit too. But
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Should we get to some fun questions?
Yeah. Let's do it.
What's your current hot take in fitness? There's a lot that you
There's
could choose
so many hot takes. Yeah.
I think my hot take is that, like, the new thing is not always the best thing.
Preach, sister.
Like,
Preach, sister.
I feel like we are so consumed with, and especially because like social media and just advertising, promotion, whatever. It's like some new fitness thing comes out, a new product or a new class or like whatever, and then or like even like a new like diet fad or detox or like whatever. And I think we like people get so caught up in this where I'm like, y'all don't understand it. We literally just need to get better at the foundational pieces. And, like, that's something I pulled, like, probably the number one thing that I took away from, I got like a nutrition coaching certification. And like, that was the number one thing is like, hey, everyone is going to like want to do this diet and that diet and like do some crazy fix and get the magic solution. But like most people don't sleep, drink water, get their protein, like do
I think
like
because we all want like a quick fix.
Yes.
So like you said detox, and I was like, remember when like detox tea was like the coolest thing in the world?
The detox tea used to send me over the edge.
But like so many people were doing
spending
it.
$50-$60 a pop on bags of detox tea. I was like, what is going on?
Well, and you see on social media the girl that's saying, my Pilates instructor told me that if I do these 2 moves every single day for 2 weeks, my waist will be snatched.
Yeah.
And you're like, obviously, because she said that to you. That is factual. But we don't, like, we're sitting here as like 3 fitness coaches that like we know this. But there's girls, men whoever are scrolling the internet and are like, I'm gonna do these 2 moves. Try that.
Yeah. Like growing up, I did 7-minute abs.
I will say about that, like more movement is generally better. Like just anything that gets people like started moving is good. But like, I don't know. I just feel like people don't want to come back to the foundational pieces because they're quote unquote boring. But I'm like, that's how you actually make the changes you want to make happen. Yeah. And so it's like a lot. And so I just feel like I'm constantly, like the reason that's on my mind is like, I feel like I'm constantly brushing through like social media and just being like, what's that? Yeah. What's that? And what's that? And like, I can't even keep up anymore. But like,
same.
Yeah. But I think we could all do a little bit better at the basics.
What's your least favorite workout to do that you do anyways?
Least favorite workout to do.
Could also be a move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like I don't really think that there's forms of exercise that I don't like that I do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, like there probably are forms of exercise that I don't really like.
For me. Yeah.
But I think mostly like my routine, like I always say to people too, I'm like the routine you're most likely to stick with forever is like something that you actually genuinely enjoy. So I think I kind of live that. Like what I do normally is like just stuff that I like, and I feel like I get what I need. But like in terms of specific exercises, I think the first one that comes to mind is Bulgarian split squats. Like like I will do those in my leg day routine, like when I'm lifting on the floor, and I will like
treacherous.
I will, and I know like there's so many benefits to them, right? Yeah. But I'll just like load them heavy as shit, and I'll literally feel like I'm gonna start crying. Like there was one day, I was having a really bad day, and I was like, I'm just gonna like do my leg workout anyways, and it'll make me feel better. And I like I did my warm up, and the first thing you have to do them first because you gotta get them done, right? And so the first thing in there is my Bulgarians, and I'm like literally mid set, and I feel myself like tearing up. Like I'm actually like on the verge of tears. It's like, oh poor baby, she's gotta do Bulgarian split squats. But you know, that's probably my arch nemesis.
What's the most unhinged thing that's ever happened to you while teaching? Could be embarrassing, could be funny.
Okay, so there was this one day I was teaching a strength class, and I all of a sudden like smelled this horrible smell, and I'm like, what? Okay,
did
somebody
I just
like somebody ripped ass, and like, okay, I'm not gonna try and embarrass anyone, of course, like I'm not gonna say anything about it, but it was and then normally that would go away, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, and like I was looking around the room and seeing people were starting to notice and just glance around, and there was sort of some discomfort in the room, and I didn't know what was going on, and so I'm like midway through the class, we just kind of like stuck it out to the end. I go out and I'm like, what is happening to like check in with our ops team, and they're apparently a company in the building, like a food company. They were cleaning grease traps, and the grease traps like
came
traveled
through the vents.
into the vents and into the studio, and so it didn't smell like food or like grease at all. It actually smelled like someone shit their pants. No, like died.
I
And
thought you were gonna be like, I
died
had dog
in their
shit
toilet.
on my foot.
shit their pants.
died in their
And,
toilet.
oh my god! And so then that was like, it was in one of my back-to-back classes. I have at 8 and 9, and so that was in the 8 a.m. And so I literally am going to get these like oil diffusing like sprays, and I'm running around the studio and I'm apologizing to everyone. I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's not me. I promise.
It's not me.
That, or when the stereo completely just like went out.
Oh, perfect.
This happened actually a couple times, but it happened one time in a cycle class, and what do you do? Like, I'm trying everything I can. I'm radioing people, trying to get some help, whatever. And they were trying to help, but it was like it had happened all across.
Yeah, you're like, there's.
And so I literally felt like I was like no preparation stand-up comedy for like. This went on for probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was trying to write it because I felt bad. We were like 20 minutes into class.
I know.
And I got the lights off. I'm like, nobody look at me.
Yeah.
But I'm just feeling horrible and feeling like I don't really have things to say. And this is the worst part, is that there's no sort of background noise except for the pedals squeaking and the breathing. Because in the rest of the whole, building, there's music in the hallways and sort of background music at low volume. In the studios, it's dead silent. And I was just like, I want to like crawl.
You're like, here's
right
my
now.
time.
And just, that was something.
What's one celebrity you would want in your class?
Probably like Jake Shane.
Yeah. 100%.
I really want to hang out with him. Like he's I think like this is his whole
Also
brand.
will be getting attacked.
Yeah, come on now. I think this is like his whole brand on social media is that everyone is like, we could be best friends.
Yes.
And I've loved watching his whole like aloe journey where he's been doing like a reformer aloe. And I'm like, I just want to be in class with him and just like be laughing our asses off because I'm sure he would like be hilarious. So we'd have a
you're
great
like
time.
laughing with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, because I'm dying too. So, like, we can be dying together.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more for you. One, what would, if you all of a sudden became a DJ as your career, what's your DJ name? Have you thought about this? There's no way you haven't thought about this.
I have.
Gravy. Gravy train.
The ideas that I've gotten from people are hilarious. Like, a lot of people have given me, like, suggestions. Because I'm probably gonna just keep it as my like name / Instagram handle, Emma Gravy. But
I like
just
Emma
because
Gravy.
just because also it's like it's like a name that's like not really my name, but it kind of is my name. But then it also like helps people recognize who I am, which is like, because like again, I want my like fitness and DJ worlds to be tied.
Yeah.
My dad is he's a computer programmer, like software engineer, and we were like talking about ideas, and I was like gave him like just a couple. I was like, does this sound dumb? Like impulse, like EM, like pulse, like impulse, impulse, whatever. He's like, don't worry, like I bought the domain for you, like the website. It's like $5 or whatever, but like
you're like,
don't worry,
I
got it,
just
like,
in case.
you need it, I got
your
it.
back.
Yeah. For a while, I was like one of my favorite words is like trust, like whatever. So doing like all caps, but with like the U with the dots over it. I like that, but I think there's like already like 8 DJs named Trust. So
I'm a Gravy's good. We like that.
Yeah, I like
There's, like,
gravy.
an alternate
And then we could be
meaning.
like, we're here for the gravy train, and then it could be like
How
a
about
dance move that
energy?
like we have to do.
Yeah. We'll come
But
up
it could
with
be
something.
like a dance
We'll
move
trial
that
a
we
couple.
have to do during your sound.
Yeah,
like
we'll
during
trial.
your sets.
Yeah.
Like you know how like there's like certain moves or whatever you do during like songs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like HOTT. We could do the gravy train during some songs.
Yeah. She'd be like, please get these people out of here.
She's like, absolutely not, but I'm gonna just say okay.
But I'm gonna leave anyways. This question's more for me. Are these tell me about these eyelashes that you have here. Are they your
thanks.
eyelashes?
They are my eyelashes.
Are they just that's just how they are?
I like credit like my parents both have very long eyelashes.
She's a lucky bitch.
There's not a serum or a secret somewhere.
I did start using a serum that is called the Babe Original, and it actually is crazy because I remember they like had sent me one, and they were like they wrote a note. They're like, the consistency is the key because if you use it here and there, it won't make any difference.
Yeah.
But if you do it as part of your bedtime routine, then like after like a month, I actually noticed. I'm like, whoa. There's actually
It's
a difference
really doing
there.
the thing. Yeah, you have
Thanks.
great eyelashes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
That was really just for me.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a fun question.
Wanted to know.
I love that, Em. Your nails look great too. I've been noticing those.
I actually just smashed. You can tell this one's different. You see that? That one's different because I was trying to pick up a weight and I smashed it.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse.
I cracked it down the middle and then it ripped my actual nail. And it's like, you know, like heartbeat throbbing. Like, oh my God. I had to put like so many Band-Aids on it. And then the next day I was like going to get my nails done. But before I did, I was teaching a class and I met someone new and he stuck out his hand to shake my hand. And I'm like, oh, I feel so creepy. Like, shaking your hand with like 3 Band-Aids over my finger. Like, it's like a nub. Like,
So good to meet you.
Thanks. I'm learning.
Well, what you got coming up for you?
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you have any more shows as of right now?
Not till 2026. So probably in like the first couple months of 2026, I'll have another DJ set. My friend Jason that I mentioned, who's awesome, and our other friend Guillermo and Jamie and Brent, they all are doing some really awesome just organization and promotion of these events. They're called House of Habits Collective. So they're gonna do, you know, events here and there. So you guys should come to one.
Yeah,
in 2026 if you ever want to.
We'll double date.
But yeah. But other than that, like really just making it through the end of the year and trying to prioritize like family time. I'm going home for this whole next week for Thanksgiving and just actually like soaking in and being present. Like it's very rare that we get all. I mean, now with the significant others and like one of my brother's best friends, like I think it's like 12 of us now under one roof.
Yeah.
So it's such a blessing to get that time. And so just trying to like be present for both, you know, now and the winter holiday. And then other than that, like just kind of looking into a big 2026 and
Hell yeah.
I'll be doing a lot of like goal setting, planning, intention setting like in the next
of that
month
in
or
the-
so.
Yeah.
But for now I'm just sort of like trying to be present and soak it all in.
I love it.
Perfect.
Well, where can everyone find you?
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Emma Gravy. It's like Thanksgiving gravy with an E before the Y. Super timely. And then you can find me in person at Lifetime River North. I teach Monday through Thursday. My schedule's in my Instagram bio, so anyone can look and
she's
find my
awesome.
schedule.
So
there.
we're going to take her class
And hit me
together.
up if you want to
We
come
are.
take it as a guest. I got you. Just send me a DM.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a gem.
Love
You are.
guys.
Thanks so
This was
much. I love
fun.
your energy.
Oh my goch, thanks.
Isn't
you
she
too.
like so wise beyond her years?
No, she is. Yeah. You
Oh
are
my gosh,
wise beyond
And
your
just
years.
so many like tidbits that I was like, check.
I had a blast, and also I just have to tell you guys, like, so much of what the topics that you cover and talk about make me feel so validated and like, oh, like I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Yeah.
And so I love that you guys are doing this, and I know it's a lot of just effort and work that you guys put in. But I see you, and you're doing really amazing things and making a really big impact.
Well, thank
so
you.
good for
That's our whole purpose. So you know what? That from you is good enough for me for quite some time.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Help
thank you
us
so
leave
much.
everyone. We always leave everyone with the timely and everything of. We just tell everybody that, girl,
Everything's
fine.
Picture the burning room in the back.
Yeah. I gotta send you that.